Hey friends, Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. Today we're looking at the 2015 Lexus NX300h. This is really Lexus' first foray into the compact luxury segment, and that means something because there are very few competitors there right now, and making this one further afield is the fact that it's also a hybrid. So let's have a look. The NX is all new for Lexus this year, sharing much of its underlying architecture and size with the ever-popular Toyota RAV4. It competes in the market with the also new entries like the Audi Q3, BMW X1, and Mercedes-Benz GLA. Its style is bold for Lexus as the brand continues to shed its stodgy image it had only a few years ago. Sharp lines, creased contours, and jutting trim elements can be found all around with a healthy dose of satin finish chrome. Standard LED headlamps and fog lamps bring a detailed upscaled look to the front end, which also gets Lexus' now trademarked spindle grille. At the rear, the NX300h Hybrid has LED taillights and decorative grills in the rear fascia instead of large exhaust tips. Our tester here was optioned with the luxury package, which on the exterior brings larger 18-inch alloy wheels, rain-sensing wipers, power moonroof, and premium LED daytime running lights. Heading inside, that package adds power adjustable heated and ventilated front seats, leather upholstery, genuine wood trim, and a heated steering wheel. Ours also came with the 10-speaker Lexus premium audio system and navigation. The design echoes the same bold themes you see on the outside, with high levels of detail in the forms, creases, and layout of the dash. Ergonomics is excellent behind the wheel here despite the artful ovations in form. Front seat comfort and driving position are just right to me, giving a safe and secure feel with a high belt line around you. The dash spans a good distance out in front, giving a nice sense of space. Overall, I think they've done a very nice job on this interior, as I've really come to expect from Lexus. They've got their own style now, and the fit and finish in here and the quality materials is everything you pay for here, especially with these soft touch trims with the stitching, the way the wood and the metals go together. It's just a nice artistic upscale look. Are a few things I wanted to point out to you here. There are a few strange details, like these little screws that are actually here on the sides of the console. A little bit out of place, but outside of that, everything looks pretty good. This has a two-tier center stack, so all the controls are easily within reach. You don't have to reach forward and lean forward to get to them, and I like that. Now that center screen up there, not a touch screen, it's actually controlled down here using this trackpad. Now Lexus used to have a movable puck, which I think actually worked a little better, because while this trackpad it's modern and it's smartphone-like, it tends to let you overshoot your menu choices, because when you're going down the road and you're being bumped, sometimes that it just happens. Now the other thing is that screen up there, it's in the sun. It's not really shrouded by any kind of shading device, so when you're driving around and the sun hits it, sometimes makes it hard to see. Now one more detail I want to point out here is this. It's kind of a cool little thing. This appears to me to be a makeup mirror, and I hate to sound sexist, but it's got a place down here where it looks like makeup items could fit. So kind of an interesting little detail here. It sort of does smack of Miami Vice a little bit, but I really think it's more for the ladies, quite honestly. Nice detail. The only thing I'd worry about is someday down the road when these cars start showing up on used car lots, look for that to be missing because it's not attached. Optioned here was the QI wireless cell phone charger, which resides just inside the center console. It's a nice feature, but tends to be in the way of routine access to the storage area, having to be lifted out of the way. The back seat room is actually pretty comfortable back here. Headroom, not bad as well. One nice thing I like is the fact that the seating position is pretty high for a compact SUV. A lot of times they're pretty low and you feel like your knees are up. One of those reasons, of course, is because room had to be made under this back seat for the hybrid battery, and these seat backs do recline, but more than that, they're powered. Pretty nice. Now, one thing is missing back here, and that is heated seats at this price. The rear seats do offer power fold-down capability as well to enjoy the full cargo hold, a nice feature in this class which really reduces effort. The luxury package also includes a power rear liftgate which opens to a sizable cargo hold even with the rear seats up. Under the hood is the latest generation hybrid powertrain from Lexus, comprised of a 2.5-liter Atkinson cycle gasoline engine, multiple electric motors, and a constantly variable transmission. It offers up 194 total system horsepower. Our Tester is a front-wheel drive model, but you can also option all-wheel drive, which gets a separate electric drive motor at the rear axle. And as I spoke of before, the NX300H has its nickel-metal hydride battery pack located just under the rear passenger seat.
What I'm finding driving around here, just here in my neighborhood, is that this powertrain does a very good job of being refined in the way it operates. And with hybrids, that's always a big deal because you have a gas engine that's turning off and turning on, and it's switching between gas and electric power almost all the time. And so when you have a powertrain that you can really feel doing this, it can be unnerving and it's hard to live with sometimes. But here, I'm finding that the turning on and off of the gas engine is almost imperceptible. You can hear it, you can feel it, but it's not so abrupt that it's something that keeps jarring you every time it happens. Lexus and Toyota, they've been building these for a long time now, and I think they've mastered it. They've gotten it to the point where it just happens and you really don't even notice it. So that's a good thing. The other thing about hybrid powertrains that has historically been, well, kind of a bugging point for me is that they sound like a leaf blower and they can be, well, noisy. But here, when you accelerate, feels very normal. It sounds very normal. This constantly variable transmission and the hybrid drive system has been tuned such that it doesn't feel that unnatural. And this engine is so hushed with the sound deadening, and it's the fact that it's a little larger than something you might find in a Prius. It's not working as hard, and so it's just a much more enjoyable driving experience all around.
That natural feel of the powertrain comes thanks to the latest tuning, which offers a kickdown effect and careful RPM management, which gives the feeling of a more traditional transmission with shift points. Power itself is adequate, considering the NX300H weighs in at a healthy 4,055 pounds, and keeping that weight well managed is a fully independent suspension with a sportier tune than Lexus models have been given in the past.
The ride and handling is tuned very much luxury. It's sort of a nice balance between a nice rubber isolated feel, yet you still get steering feel here, and it's still firm enough that you have that feeling of control you want when you go in and out of curves. It doesn't feel top heavy, and it doesn't have any kind of a boaty floatiness that often tends to be associated with luxury vehicles. So it's just a nice balance, and I wouldn't call it sporting, but it's enough that if you really enjoy a drive, you're not going to be disappointed.
The EPA rating for the Lexus NX300H is 35 mpg city, 31 mpg highway, and 33 mpg combined. We are actually able to well exceed the EPA ratings in our week with the mix of both highway and city driving. Safety for the NX300H is top of the class with the IIHS, which gives it their highest Top Safety Pick Plus rating. This comes in part with good crash test scores across the line and an available advanced crash prevention system.
Summing it up for the NX300H, I have to say I'm pretty impressed overall with its package. It's very bold, it's very stylish. I'd almost liken it to a designer purse on wheels, but that is something a guy would totally say, right? But it also feels of quality. It's very upscale in the way it drives and how quiet it is on the road, and it really ought to be because it's priced upscale. And I'll point out that while this is well optioned and you can get them for less, you can still spend more money on it. And part of the price though is the fact that it's a hybrid, and hybrid's what gets us that fuel economy. I achieved 35.5 mpg for the week, which is actually over what the highway rating is, and well, what I achieved, that's combined on a tank of fuel, city and highway. So it's always nice when you can achieve over what the window sticker promises. As we look at the stars, how I rate the different areas of the vehicle, pretty good across the board. The only areas I wasn't 100% enthralled was some of those interior details, as well as the infotainment system. That new touchpad is still a bit of a sore spot for me, but overall we're at 4 stars for the week. Still a very good place to be. I'm Sam Haymart for Test Driven TV. I hope you enjoyed the ride.